Dear brothers and sisters, today we will learn the profound parallels between the ancient tabernacle and our lives today as Christians. The tabernacle and our body, a spiritual analogy of service and worship. The tabernacle, described in the Old Testament, holds deep spiritual significance and provides a profound analogy for understanding the relationship between our body, soul, and spirit. In our journey of serving and worshiping God, just as the tabernacle was a place of divine encounter, God desires us to present ourselves as living sacrifices, serving Him with our entire being. In this exploration, we will delve into the symbolism of the tabernacle, drawing parallels to our lives, and discover how God calls us to serve Him with reverence and love in body, soul, and spirit. The tabernacle in the Old Testament serves as a profound analogy for understanding the human body, soul, and spirit in the context of serving God. Each part of the tabernacle has its spiritual counterpart in our being, symbolizing the journey of drawing near to God and living a life of service and worship. 1. Outer court, our physical body. The outer court of the tabernacle represents our physical body. Just as the outer court was accessible to all Israelites, our bodies are the visible and tangible part of us, accessible to the world. God desires us to present our bodies as living sacrifices, holy and pleasing to Him. We are called to take care of our bodies, use them for God's glory, and serve others with compassion and love. 2. Holy place, our soul. The holy place symbolizes our soul, which encompasses our mind, will, and emotions. It is the inner part of the tabernacle, separated from the outer court by a veil. In the same way, our soul is distinct from our physical body and serves as the bridge between our spirit and our external world. God wants us to renew our minds and align our will with His through prayer, meditation on His Word, and submission to His guidance. 3. Most holy place, our spirit. The most holy place, also known as the Holy of Holies, represents our spirit. It is the innermost and sacred part of the tabernacle, separated from the holy place by a thick veil. Just as the high priest could enter the Holy of Holies once a year to be in the presence of God, our spirit is the place where we can commune with God in a deep and intimate way. God desires us to live in communion with Him, allowing His Spirit to guide and empower us in every aspect of our lives. God's call to serve Him as in the tabernacle. 1. Surrender. Just as the Israelites brought offerings and sacrifices to the tabernacle, God calls us to offer our lives as living sacrifices to Him. This involves surrendering our will, desires, and ambitions to follow His divine plan. 2. Worship. The tabernacle was a place of worship, and God desires us to worship Him in spirit and truth. Our entire being, body, soul, and spirit, should be engaged in worshiping the Lord. 3. Holiness. The tabernacle was a place of holiness, and God calls us to be holy as He is holy. Our thoughts, words, and actions should reflect the holiness of God. 4. Prayer and communion. Just as the high priest entered the Holy of Holies to commune with God, we are called to seek God's presence through prayer, meditation, and spending time in His Word. 5. Service and love. The priests served in the tabernacle, and God calls us to serve one another in love. This involves using our gifts and talents to bless and edify others, just as the various utensils in the tabernacle had specific purposes. In conclusion, God's desire for us is to serve Him wholeheartedly, engaging our entire being, body, soul, and spirit, just as the tabernacle served as a dwelling place for His presence. By understanding this beautiful analogy, we can seek a deeper relationship with God, live a life of worship and service, and draw nearer to Him in every aspect of our lives.